homeschooling Grammy. I thought I would come on here today really quick and give you an idea of how I do my record keeping for the state of New York. New York State is considered a red state. In other words, we're pretty highly regulated. So I would just kind of give you a quick overview of how I keep records for the state of New York. If this is something that you're interested in, please stick around. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and we will get started. What I went ahead and did is grab my first grade records. So in the state of New York, you're not required to teach kindergarten. You're not required to even give a letter of intent to homeschool until your child is 6 years old. So we did do kindergarten, but I didn't have to report any of that to the school district. So we are now in the midst of finishing up second grade, but I have all of first grade's record keeping that I kept, and I thought that would be the easiest since it's already been done and I can just show it to you. So the first thing that our school district does is they send you a bunch of paperwork. You know, once you send your letter of intent. So you send in your letter of intent, and we are fortunate enough in our school district, not all school districts in the state of New York allow you to do this, but you can send it in by email. So I went ahead and I sent the email. And so what I included in here, of course, was my address, all my contact information up here, then attention to the superintendent of our school district. Of course, stating that this is a letter of intent to homeschool. And then I put, please be advised that we intend to homeschool, blah, 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 during the school year of 2018-2019. Sincerely, my name. Super simple. 2 seconds, right? You go ahead, type it up, and in my case, email it. You can take it to them directly. You can mail it to them. Make sure that you keep a copy for yourself. So not only do I have my email, but I also have a hard copy for my own benefit. So the next thing that'll happen is they, at least in our district, they send us a whole packet, and in there will be all the regulations that you need to stick by in the state of New York, explaining those regulations. And my district sends this. Technically, they cannot send this. But for me, I don't care. I'm not going to argue over dates. So, you know, they'll put on, for our district, they'll put, okay, end of quarter 1, November 9, end of quarter 2, January 25th, April 5th, you know, June, etc., for each of the 4 quarters. Now, technically, they cannot tell us which dates that we need to send in our information, but I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. We tend to homeschool year round. I just kind of, you know, fix the times and fix the hours and whatever to fit into these time slots, even though we consider to homeschool most of the year, and I just make it work that way. So the first quarter, we tend to have a whole lot of hours, especially since, you know, we tend to really start earlier. We start like in August, even though we homeschool year round, we're only doing little bits of pieces of things, but in August, like, we really start to buckle down and start homeschool. Okay, so after you get all your packet information and all of that good stuff, your next thing that you need to do in the state of New York is you are going to fill out an individualized home instruction plan, or a IHIP. So this IHIP, because I'm a member of the Homeschool Legal Defense, and in the state of New York, I highly recommend that you have this service, because if you have any trouble whatsoever, and the fee is so nominal, it's like $10 a month, they will literally come to your rescue if you're having any kind of issues with your district, or you're having some stuff that they're just giving you trouble for. It could be any number of things. Homeschool Legal Defense is absolutely amazing. Back in the day when my middle daughter graduated from homeschool, she went to apply, of all things, to a beauty school. They wouldn't accept her diploma, and basically what they told me, like, we can go in and fight this for you, but why bother? Like, they're like, it's just a stupid beauty school. Like, she can go to any college she wants, that her diploma counts. So they were really awesome, and she ended up going for massage anyways. So anyhow, so what you're going to put on here. So here's your individualized home instruction plan. Right here are the dates that you're going to submit your quarterly reports. Like I said, I took the dates off of this paper that the school sent to me. I don't really care. Not a big deal to me, but legally, you can set your own dates for whatever works for you. Then you're going to go ahead here, and it says you put in the names of the people that are going to be doing instruction. For our household, it is myself and my husband. And then you're going to list all the subjects, and you're going to do a list of all of the syllabi, the curriculum materials, textbooks, and the plan of instruction for each subject. So there you go. So if you want like a more in-depth look at any of these things that I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section below, and I will do a real dive deep type of look at any of these different segments. But so this would be the next thing that you would send in. Your individualized home instruction plan, listing all of your subjects, which are in your paperwork that they send to you, along with the materials that you're going to be using to cover each of the subjects. All right, so then once you, for us, it's a simple email saying they got the material. That's all I've ever gotten. An email saying thank you. That's it. That's all I get. Email saying thank you. And so we just go ahead and move on. So I'm going to show you the next thing that you will be doing. And I'm just going to give you kind of a real quick look at this as well. And I did do a previous video on doing a quarterly report in the state of New York, where I actually go into this step by step. I'll try to remember to put it up in the iCards. So anyways, so what you will do next, and I forgot to cover my granddaughter's name. So anyways, homeschool quarterly report. So here's my quarterly report, covering each of the subjects that we did for the quarter. Now, some people go way, way basic. They don't even put as much as I put on a quarterly report. And some people put a whole lot more. I would say that I kind of fall in the middle. So how I do it is I have right here, I'll put like the first quarter, her name, what grade, in the state of New York, we are required to put the number of hours of instruction that we did, the number of days that we were present, and the number of days that we were absent. We're homeschool. I never put any days absent. As far as I'm concerned, every day is a learning day. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Children are learning all the time. So, and then I have the academic progress, overall academic progress, and then I go ahead and I list each of the subjects and what we covered. And like I said, I have a complete video on how to do a quarterly report in the state of New York. You can go ahead and catch that video for more information. And if you have any questions even thereafter, feel free to contact me. I will leave my email address also in the description box. All right, so after that, you go through your 4 quarters. You get to the end of the school year. So you still have to go ahead and you have to do a 4th quarter report. So along with the 4th quarter report, though, in the state of New York, you also have to do a homeschool annual assessment. So for us, in the state of New York, you're required to start doing yearly testing. The first yearly testing can take place anywhere between grades 3 through 5. I personally am going to wait until 5th grade to do a standardized test. And the reason being, it's required like every other year. So we would, for elementary and middle school. So it would be, if you did it in 3rd grade, say, then you'd have to do 3rd, 5th, and 7th. If you wait until 5th grade, then you only have to do grades 5 and 7. And then in high school, you have to do it every year. So this is the other thing. Now, as homeschool parents, most districts in the state of New York allow you to do your own assessment. As you can see, I wrote up my own assessment. Very short and to the point, because there's really no reason for me to write a whole bunch of stuff out when I've already covered all kinds of information in all 4 of my quarters. all 4 quarters. I have tons of information about what we did. So for me to go ahead and rewrite all of that over again doesn't make any sense to me. Just basically that she's made, you know, adequate progress, There again, if you want more information on how to do the annual assessment, the written annual assessment, let me know. I can help you out with that, or I can also do a more in-depth video on that. And of course, if it's your year to do state test, or, you know, testing, standardized testing, then you go ahead and you know, send the results of that. You can even choose to do those every year. And every district, from what I'm hearing, is different. Like our district, again, very easy. We can administer our own standardized test in our school district. But I've heard from other school districts that that is not always the case. So you might want to check. Maybe there'll be some local homeschool groups that you can get in contact with and find out how that works in your particular district. But for us, we are able to administer our own standardized testing. We are able to write our own assessments under the other clause. But some of these districts, it's getting iffy, and they're having parents either have a certified teacher or they have to go to a testing site. So, you know, just kind of be careful in that respect. And that's why I really say, you know, I highly recommend that you use Homeschool Legal Defense. And I will also try to remember to put a link down in my description box to them as well. They are super awesome. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I hope it answered a lot of your questions, and I will talk to you again soon.